Philosopher Seneca once said, "A second chance is a concept that often confuses us. Rather, it is a concept that makes us repeat the same mistakes over and over again." Welcome, friends, to our video, where we will delve deep into the philosophy of Stoicism and explore the reasons why rejecting a second chance can not only be rational, but also instructive. Let's together explore what lessons we can derive from this ancient doctrine and how it can be applied in our modern lives. Let's dive into this fascinating world of philosophy and discover new horizons of thought. Don't forget to like this video. Your support will help more people see it and gain valuable lessons from Stoic philosophy. Let's together spread knowledge and inspire others to develop their own thinking. Thank you for your support. Let's begin. The principle of reason and justice is one of the fundamental principles of Stoic philosophy. Stoics recognize that decisions based on reason and justice are the most stable and rational. When it comes to granting a second chance, Stoics carefully analyze the situation from the perspective of reason and justice. They ask themselves, would granting a second chance be fair to the recipient? What principles of reason justify the need for this chance? It is important to understand that Stoics do not reject second chances a priori. They acknowledge that people can make mistakes and have the right to rectify them. However, if a second chance contradicts reason or principles of justice, it may be denied. For example, if a person shows no sincere desire to change or improve the situation, granting them a second chance may be unfair to other stakeholders or even to the person themselves. Similarly, if granting a second chance jeopardizes someone's rights, safety, or well-being, it may be incompatible with principles of justice. Therefore, the Stoic approach to granting second chances involves carefully weighing the circumstances and making decisions based on reason and justice. If a second chance aligns with these principles, it may be justified and rational. If not, Stoics may refrain from granting it to avoid negative consequences. Self-defense and boundaries. Stoics recognize the importance of self-defense and setting boundaries. Refusing a second chance may be necessary to protect oneself from repeated mistakes or negative influences. It is important to safeguard one's internal resources, both emotional and psychological, to ensure one's well-being and peace of mind. This includes the ability to say no in situations where further interaction may cause harm or violate personal boundaries. Protecting oneself from repeated mistakes or negative influences may require rejecting this chance. If the initial experience with a person or situation led to serious negative consequences or breached personal boundaries, granting a second chance may be risky and imprudent. If someone has exhibited behavior harmful to your mental or emotional health, refusing to grant a second chance can be a way to protect your well-being. This may also involve refusing a second chance in relationships that have been violent or disrespectful to your boundaries and dignity. Self-defense and boundary setting are manifestations of self-care and concern for one's well-being, which may sometimes entail the need to refuse a second chance. This does not mean denying the possibility of change or growth, but rather striving to preserve one's dignity and protect against further potential threats. Acceptance of fate. This principle entails accepting all aspects of life, both positive and negative, and finding inner peace regardless of external circumstances. When we consider the issue of granting a second chance, we see that refusing this chance can be linked to the awareness of the principle of acceptance of fate. This means acknowledging that events that have occurred, including our mistakes or the mistakes of others, are part of the inevitable reality. Refusing a second chance can be a way of accepting these events without resistance and without unnecessary emotional expenditure. When we refuse to grant a second chance, we acknowledge that every individual has free will and responsibility for their actions. We recognize that past actions may have consequences and that we can move forward by accepting these consequences without regrets and without being attached to the past. In refusing a second chance, the idea of self-respect and self-esteem may also be present. We understand that we deserve relationships and situations that align with our values and well-being, and that granting a second chance may be incompatible with these values. Refusing a second chance, in the context of Stoic philosophy, can be understood as an expression of acceptance of fate, awareness of the inevitability of consequences, and a striving for inner peace and harmony regardless of external circumstances. Wisdom from experience. Stoics believe in extracting lessons from past experiences. Refusing a second chance can be the result of wisdom gained from learning from past mistakes. Every event and every mistake represents a lesson that can be used for personal growth and development. When it comes to granting a second chance, Stoics may view refusal as a manifestation of wisdom based on learning from past mistakes. Refusing a second chance may result from careful analysis of past events and their consequences. Wisdom gained from experience allows us to realize that repeating the same actions that led to failure or negative consequences in the past is unlikely to yield different results. Therefore, refusing to grant a second chance can be a way to avoid repeating the same mistakes and preserve our resources and energy for more productive pursuits. Furthermore, refusing a second chance can be a manifestation of self-awareness and self-respect. It reflects an understanding that we deserve better and that granting a second chance may be imprudent if we have acknowledged our mistakes and drawn conclusions from them. This does not mean denying the possibility of change or development, but rather the ability to make a wise and thoughtful decision based on past experience and the lessons we have learned from it. Justice and responsibility for our actions. We are responsible for our actions and should act justly both towards ourselves and others. When considering the question of granting a second chance, Stoics may see refusal as a decision based on these principles of justice and personal responsibility. Refusing a second chance can be understood as an expression of justice towards oneself and other stakeholders. If granting a second chance violates justice, diminishes our rights, or leads to inequality, then refusal may not only be rational, but also morally justified. Refusing a second chance can be a demonstration of personal responsibility for our actions. It shows that we have recognized the consequences of our decisions and are willing to take responsibility for them. We understand that our actions have consequences and we must be prepared to accept these consequences, including refusal to grant a second chance if it does not align with our principles and values. Refusing a second chance in Stoic philosophy can be seen as a decision based on principles of justice and personal responsibility. It demonstrates that we are acting in accordance with our moral convictions and are willing to accept the consequences of our decisions, including refusal of a second chance, if necessary to uphold these principles. The path to wisdom and prudence. Stoics recognize the importance of developing wisdom and prudence. Refusing a second chance can be a step toward making wiser and more rational decisions. Rational and wise decision-making is the foundation for achieving harmony and well-being. When it comes to granting a second chance, refusal can be seen as a step toward making wiser and more rational decisions. Refusing a second chance can be understood as an expression of wisdom based on learning from past experiences. If we analyze our experiences and extract lessons from them, refusal of a second chance can be seen as applying these lessons in practice. Wisdom lies in understanding that repeating the same actions that led to failure in the past is likely to yield the same results. Therefore, refusal of a second chance can be considered a decision made based on reasoned analysis and understanding of consequences. Furthermore, refusing a second chance can be an expression of our ability to make prudent decisions. Prudence involves the ability to assess situations adequately and make decisions that best align with our goals and values. If granting a second chance contradicts these goals and values, then refusal can be an indication of our prudent approach to life. In Stoic philosophy, special attention is paid to the management of emotions and rational thinking. Stoics believe that controlling emotions and making decisions based on reason are key aspects of achieving wisdom and well-being. When it comes to granting a second chance, refusal can be seen as an expression of emotional control and decision-making based on pure reason. Emotional management plays an important role in decision-making in Stoic philosophy. Stoics teach that we must be able to control our emotions to prevent them from clouding our rational thinking. Refusing a second chance can be understood as a manifestation of this emotional management. Instead of reacting emotionally to the situation, we can make decisions based on pure reason and logic. Making the decision to refuse a second chance based on rational thinking can be seen as an expression of Stoic principles. Stoics teach that decisions should be made based on reason and justice, not under the influence of emotions or passions. Therefore, refusing a second chance can be an indication of decision-making based on pure reason, taking into account all circumstances and consequences. Refusing a second chance in Stoic philosophy can be seen as an expression of emotional management and decision-making based on pure reason. It demonstrates that we are capable of controlling our emotions and making decisions based on logic and reason, rather than succumbing to emotional outbursts or passions. The value of time and resources. Stoics teach that our time and energy are our most valuable resources, and we should use them most effectively to achieve our goals and well-being. When it comes to granting a second chance, refusal can be seen as a result of realizing that there are more valuable activities or opportunities to which we should devote our attention. Refusing a second chance can be understood as an acknowledgement of the importance of our resources and a reluctance to spend them on something that does not align with our goals or values. Instead of spending time and energy on granting a second chance, we may decide to redirect these resources to more productive or meaningful activities. This may include working on our own development, strengthening relationships with those who truly value our support, or engaging in activities that bring us joy and satisfaction. Refusing a second chance can be an expression of respect for our time and energy, as well as for the time and energy of others. We realize that every minute and every effort has its value, and we do not want to waste them on situations or relationships that do not bring us real benefits or satisfaction. Thus, refusal of a second chance in Stoic philosophy can be seen as a manifestation of realizing the value of our temporal and energetic resources and striving to use them most effectively to achieve our goals and well-being. The meaning of life and personal dignity. True well-being is achieved through understanding and following one's purpose, as well as through constant striving for self-improvement as an individual. In this context, refusing a second chance can be seen as a manifestation of striving for personal integrity and the search for meaning in life. Refusing a second chance can be interpreted as an expression of our respect for our own integrity and dignity. We realize that every decision we make affects our self-respect and our self-image. Therefore, if granting a second chance does not align with our values or principles, we may choose to refuse it in order to preserve our integrity and dignity. Furthermore, refusing a second chance can be an expression of our search for meaning in life. Stoics teach that true happiness and fulfillment are found not in external circumstances, but in our internal state and spiritual achievements. Therefore, if granting a second chance does not contribute to our personal development or to the realization of our own meaning of life, we may decide to reject it in favor of more meaningful efforts and pursuits. Refusing a second chance in Stoic philosophy can be seen as an expression of our striving for personal integrity, self-respect, and the search for meaning in life. It demonstrates that we are willing to make decisions that align with our highest values and that bring us true satisfaction and happiness. Examining the concepts of Stoicism, we see that refusing to grant a second chance can have deep philosophical roots. It may manifest as emotional management, a pursuit of personal integrity, and a search for meaning in life. Declining a second chance can be based on a rational analysis of past mistakes, respect for one's time and resources, as well as an awareness of the importance of justice and accountability for one's actions. Regardless of how we choose to act in a specific situation, it's important to remember the significance of each decision and its impact on our personal development and well-being. Let our choices be informed, wise, and aligned with our values. I wish you to find harmony and meaning in your life by making decisions with wisdom and dignity. May your path be filled with confidence, tranquility, and joy from embracing true values.